Hi, Akhil. Thank you so much for taking out time for this interview. May we request you to please share your journey, your story in your own words?
Sure. Thank you for having me as well. So first, I'll start with my education. So I've done my BTech in NIT Surat. I've done my electronics and communication engineering there.
Uh-huh.
So I always wanted to go towards the software development side, and hence I landed up at a job in Capgemini. So
Okay.
I was working there for 3 years, 3.5 to be precise, as
Okay.
a software engineer. And then during these 3 years, I had an opportunity to work with the clients at Netherlands also. So I was able to get that international exposure as well during these 3 years.
Mm.
And one thing that I liked working here was the team at Capgemini was also encouraging to learn about the business details of the project I work on. Like
Mhm.
they encourage knowing about the business details, why the product is being built, and the revenue they get generated and how customers are impacted.
Right.
So I somewhere got interested in these details, and I thought, okay, I'm kind of interested in these business details as well.
Mhm.
So why not let's do an MBA?
Right.
So as a first step, I thought of first doing the CAT exam, that is Indian B School exam.
Mhm.
So I gave it, and I scored a 93 percentile.
All right.
I did well in quant and DA, but
Mhm.
I struggled a bit with verbal. I will tell why it, yeah, it happened in the mistake section that we'll discuss in some time.
Sure.
So then later, after knowing that I won't be going to any IIM, I did
Mhm.
not waste any time, and I started with my GMAT prep. So I wanted to target the round one application cycle, and then I started in March, around March,
Right.
early of March, and then I gave my exam in August. Then I applied in round one. So I applied total of 11 schools, of which I got three admits. I
Sure.
got admit from Rice Business,
Mhm.
WP Carey, Arizona State University, and Georgia Tech Schellers College of Business.
Oh, that's
Yes,
great. Congratulations on getting the admits from these B schools.
thank you.
So, in your opinion, what are a few factors or actions you took that made all the difference?
Yeah, the first thing definitely the current role I'm working in, and uh, the career progress I wanted to take in after this 3.5 years at the tech role I'm working.
Mhm.
So since I had this 3.5 years, I also thought that maybe why not try an foreign MBA, because I wanted this 2 year of MBA thing, because in India with 3.5 to 4 year experience,
Mhm.
it doesn't add up much value at IIM. So, and even with ISB I get only 1 year of MBA experience. So I
Right.
wanted a complete MBA experience, and I targeted USB schools.
All
So
right.
yeah, these two factors. Yeah.
Okay. So, with the benefit of hindsight, what are a few mistakes you believe you committed in the process?
Yeah, sure. So first mistake I would say that I committed is I should have been 100% religious to the mocks that I gave.
Mhm.
Like I gave mocks at any free time that I got. Like for example, after the work I get, or
Mhm.
uh, over the weekend. So I would recommend taking those mocks very religiously. Like treat them as a actual GMAT exam.
Mhm.
So if you treat them in that way, then on the test exam you don't have that much anxiety or stress. So, and do not waste any mocks like by experimenting too much, or so that was one mistake. And also the order of the exam and the time of exam that you give. Uh, Schedule a fixed time over the weekend or whenever you find that no one is going to disturb you. So schedule that particular period in your free time. And since GMAT also has the option to select the order in which you take the sections, like verbal first or quant first,
Yes.
we make sure that you also decide it well, and it depends on you, because some people are good at verbal, some people are good at quant.
Right.
And I also started late a bit with the official guide questions. I
Mhm.
should have started them a bit early, because you actually get that flavor of real GMAT questions with the official guide questions. Yeah, so these were some of the mistakes and handled. Yeah.
All right. So, going back to your GMAT prep phase, what were the main resources that you used?
First, definitely the official guide questions,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have taken the experts global 15 complete mock tests and verbal and quant course.
Uh-huh.
And once I have done this for more practice, I have taken also the GMAT sources. So
All right.
yeah, so these three were the things I have taken.
Okay. So, with what area of the GMAT did you struggle the most, and how did you overcome that challenge?
Definitely the preparation phase was trying to figure out what strategy works well, and managing the work. I was preparing along with the full-time job,
Mm-hmm.
so managing both things was a challenge, and also uh, dedicating which part of the GMAT should you give more time. For example, sometimes we need to give more importance to verbal when mocks we are not performing well.
Right.
So balancing everything needs to be taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
mostly the preparation phase. Application phase, I think uh, I went with Experts Global as an admission consultant. So they took complete care of it, and they guided me in every step. So yeah.
All right. So, according to you, how many mock tests and at what frequency should an aspirant be taking?
Uh, I would recommend uh, definitely the 6 mock tests that official guide has.
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend everyone to take them, and at least take apart from those, I would recommend 15 to 20 mocks.
All right.
So if you do this, then I think you'll not feel that a level of anxiety or stress, because you'll have a solid practice that you have done already. So then yeah, I would recommend at least like in total 20 to 25 marks. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, what are a few mistakes that you would advise all the GMAT aspirants to avoid?
Yeah. So my recommendations will be based mostly on a mistake itself. So first, as I said, take mocks very religiously. Like if you say you have 20 to 25 mocks, don't waste any single one of them.
All right.
If you treat every mock as a real GMAT exam, then I can 100% assure you that on the day of exam, you'll not feel any stress. And the
Mm-hmm.
second one, know yourself better. Like, are you comfortable with verbal first, quant first, and order of the exam? I would like to tell my example. So first, I used to give this verbal first and quant first. So I'm type of a person where I need some warm up before I dive into the actual brainstorming.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started with verbal, I found that I was not completely focused into the exam. Like uh, I took more time to answer the questions. So I changed my strategy, and I just started with uh, this AW and the other section, integrated reasoning section. So
Mm-hmm.
what helped me was, I was by the time I reached verbal, I was already into the mood of the exam. So I was able to focus more and give the
Mm-hmm.
answers in the required time. So that thing, and I would also recommend, don't hurry the process. So let's say you started in January, like take at least 1 or 2 months to completely know the concepts. So
Mm-hmm.
the concepts are very important. If you hurry in the process, then it will again become a cycle. You answer questions again, go to concepts, and it will, even the GMAT attempts will fail. So, and I would recommend, if someone is not very good at RCs, so keep giving RCs daily. Like 1 or 2 RCs every day will put you in that space where you can answer many RCs in the exam. And coming to the GMAT exam, what I found in the GMAT algorithm, or it may be uh, comparative, but the first 20 questions of the verbal are very important.
Mm-hmm.
So if you answer them well, then the GMAT algorithm takes you to the higher level, like V40s or V30s.
Right.
And so make sure that you give the first 20 well, and don't invest in too many resources. So let's say you have taken the official guide,
Mm-hmm.
so make sure that you take or 1 or 2 max. If you keep on taking more resources, you will just end up wasting time and not revising. I would say better revise the concepts and revise the questions that you have answered incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, this is the GMAT preparation phase. And the coming to recommendation regarding the applications. I would say research the schools well. For example, I
Mm-hmm.
am a tech guy, so
Right.
research which schools have the tech background and which
Mm.
schools have that placement scenario where more tech placements are there.
Right.
So, and also if you are, let's say, not financially well, or if you think you may not be able to support financially,
Mm-hmm.
always keep those safe schools which provide sufficient scholarship so that you you don't end up without any admit. So I have seen people like only target dream schools and mid-range schools and leave out safe schools. It is not a very practical scenario. So you should be
Right.
very practical and honest with yourself so that
Mm-hmm.
you don't end up in the unlikely scenario of getting a B school admit.
That's true.
And yes, yeah, there are a couple of recommendations I wanted to tell the future B school as well. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So, with what area in the application process did you struggle the most, and how did you overcome that challenge?
So yes, I was done with my GMAT in the last week of August. So and the round one applications were due by October first week. So
Okay.
I wanted to first shortlist the schools,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wanted to um, make my resume look finer and reviewed so that I'll be ready to submit. And
Mm-hmm.
also the essays part, I want them to be crafted, well crafted to the each particular school I wanted to apply to. So I thought maybe I only have 1 month because I definitely wanted to target round one because being an Indian IT male, I know that it is going to be very challenging and competitive. So then I approached the experts, global admission consultants, and they helped me with a very structured and streamlined process. First, they asked me to fill an exhaustive questionnaire, which helped me deep dive into what interests I have, what challenges, what weaknesses, strengths,
Mm-hmm.
and the challenging parts of my job life. So in those 5 to 1 week, 5 days to 1 week, I completely answered each and every questions, which
Right.
in turn helped me in my uh, application essays as well as my interview prep. So
Mm-hmm.
that 1 week of the guidance I received from Expert Global was very useful for me. And
Right.
then I had a brainstorming session with them regarding which schools to select and which not to apply because I
Mm-hmm.
was not fully aware of the schools that match with my profile. So they
Oh.
helped me advise. So one of the school that I got a full scholarship was recommended by Expert Global only.
Mm-hmm.
So had I not applied, I would have missed that admit. So yeah, thanks to them. Then after that, after I applied, they also reviewed the entire application forms that I have filled in and suggested any changes that I need to do. Uh, Finally, in the interview phase, also they
Mm-hmm.
gave me suggestions how to prepare, and they gave me the 50 to 60 questions which I need to be very well versed with to
Mm-hmm.
answer every question possible. So yeah, this was the challenge, and I thanks to this Global that I overcome this.
All right. Okay, that's really nice. So, would you like to describe your interview experience with the B school?
Yeah, sure. So as I applied for 11 schools, I got interview invites from 9 of them, and I was fortunate that all the interview invites came one by one, so I was able to schedule them over the span of 1 month.
Okay.
So I made sure that at least there are 2 to 3 days between each interview, so that if I made any mistake after one interview, so that I can rectify in the next one. So yeah, I gave 9 interviews, and all I did was go through the 50 to 60 questions that Expert Global gave me. I
Mm-hmm.
made sure that I filled out every question in a detailed way, not leaving any loopholes. And I also went through the GMAT club where for each school we have interview debriefs. So from there also I listed out any questions that I missed, and I before the interview day I just revised all the question and answers that I have prepared.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, everything. I guess all the interviews were nice and very conversational. So I did not face any grilling scenarios because I was already prepared with most of the questions. So
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, that's great. It's really nice to know that your interviews were very smooth and conversational.
I think everything depends on your application only. So if you
Right.
think that you have mentioned there is a backstory for everything that you have mentioned application, then
Uh-huh.
it wouldn't be a problem. So I would definitely recommend, like, once you have applied to all the schools,
Mm-hmm.
maybe just take 1 or 2 day off and just immediately start with the interview prep. You may not know whether you will get an interview invite or not, but just right away start the interview prep and be ready with all the answers. So it will help really when actually interview invites come, because some interview invites they won't give any time to you. Like, they would say just schedule an invite in the next week. So
Mm-hmm.
that time when you are not ready with the answers, then yeah, it will might be a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. That's true. So, what would be your final suggestion or message to all the future GMAT aspirants and MBA applicants watching this video?
Yes, so definitely first research yourself, like know where you want to be, whether you want to take a next challenge by being in a B school for 2 years, whether it's worth the investment. You will know better when you try to research, and then start early. Like, once you've decided, don't waste any time and start early, because you never know what's going to happen. For example, in my scenario, just because I started early, I was able to give it on time just 1 month before the round.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, that is the thing. And talk to your seniors. So any friends or seniors that already went through this process, they
Mm-hmm.
might give you very valuable advice on how to do things. Because
Yeah.
if you repeat the mistakes that they have done, then it
Mm-hmm.
might take a long. So like, try to avoid mistakes and yeah, be very smart in that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing your entire journey and experience with us.
Thank you so much. I was also happy to help the future aspirants so that they also don't commit any mistakes that happen. So yeah, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for giving us your time.